Lewis and Davidman's marriage was unconventional for their time. It was more like marriages of now. What drew you into writing about their relationship?
So I always knew, like I said at the beginning, that he had written this seminal book on grief about her. So I always had this question: who was this astounding woman that C.S. Lewis didn't marry till he was 57? And then he wrote this book about her that, you know, that most people, when they're going through their own grief, feel like they have someone walking alongside them. And so the more I learned about her, at first when I started writing this, I thought I was just writing a love story about an American woman who wrote a letter to an Oxford Don, and they fell in love over letters, or she fell in love with him over letters. And then, you know, they got together. I thought it would be a sweet, short love story. I had no idea. Just like the shipwreck, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. It sounded like a very simple story to tell. And as soon as I started diving in, I almost said, I'm not doing this, because it was so complicated. I didn't realize she was married with 2 kids to an abusive husband, that she went to England twice. Then there's, I'm assuming y'all read it, but if not, I'll try not to spoil too much. Then there's the whole cousin situation. So I'd never heard any of that. And then 9 years ago, maybe 10 now, time is slippery these days, they found her son was helping Joy's best friend clean out her house because she was moving to a nursing home. And they found a box of Joy's personal papers in the back of a closet. And in that box were 300 unpublished poems. And of those 300 unpublished poems, there was a folder that had the word courage on it. And inside that folder were 45 love sonnets for C.S. Lewis. And so I knew that the story was much bigger than just this sweet love story about an American woman who wrote a letter to an Oxford Don, that it was a very complicated, not easy, because there's times in the book, I think all of us, I think I'll get another hand raised, there's times in the book that all of us, including me, were frustrated with her. What are you doing? Why would you do that? And I really want, thank you, Barbara. And I just felt like we had to see the full complicated story for the redemption of the story, which is their love story, to really hit home. It wasn't some simple, pretty love story like in a novel. It was very complicated, and she was very complicated.